Alright, so today's video is the difference between the HPI f4.6 and the V2. Let's get cracking. So let's start with the blocks. As you can see, they're pretty different looking. The fins on the V2 are different shaped, as well as they're further apart. Also, the case on the V2 is slightly wider than the V1 also. The V2 is missing this little fin right here. Fairings are the same, don't worry about that. That's aftermarket. Let's just say get what you pay for. Port work in there is the same. One thing that I just noticed, which is really cool, is down these passages is more cleared out than the V1. You can see that there's these things down here interrupting the fuel flow, and they took care of that on the V2, so that's very, very nice. Alright, so that will wrap it up for the blocks. The cranks, from what I tell, are exactly the same. The end of that's not supposed to be like that. We'll talk about that later. As you can see, the heads are different. The V2, as you can see, the fins are further apart than the V1. It's wider and shorter, as well as the finish is different on the V1 versus the V2. The reason why I think they lowered the head on the V2, probably to prevent that. So they probably did that to prevent that. So you can see this V2 head looks pretty still. Head buttons from both engines are exactly the same. Just one thing to pay attention to is be careful what glow plugs you run in your engines. As you can see, this one is running, the V1 is running a OS 8, and as you can see, that plug is too short, so you're going to suffer slight loss of compression. The V2, this one's too long, it's interfering with the combustion chamber, so that's also no good. So pick the correct plug for your engine, please. Pistons are exactly the same. Backlights are slightly different. Can you tell which one? This one is off the V2. It's off the V1. As you can tell, the V1 has a shorter and thinner cut right there. This one is larger. Carburetors are exactly the same. Sleeves are exactly the same. The port work is the same. Starting cams are the same, and both engines still use pin and spring setup. One-way bearings are different. The V1 uses a 12 mil one-way bearing, and the V2 uses a 14 mil bearing. The V1 had a pull start, this V2 has a row start, but either way they're incompatible because of the hex sizes. And last but not least is the head shims. The V1 uses 4 and the V2 uses 2, and obviously the stack is going to be different. V1, the stack is 0.82, and the V2's head shim stack is 0.43.